Hello and welcome to the 8th session of Monday Morning Mojo, a program created and brought to you by FineWorld, where we use words wisely to equip you with the power to convert your talents, skills, and passion to worthwhile, decent income generating activities. I'm your mentor, Magdalene Kamawotieno. Karibu Caution. This program is only meant for those who are 101% committed to their mission. People who are willing to do anything and everything to make their mission work. Remember that at the end of every session, we have this slogan. I say, remember, you're on a mission. Do it, live it. And that's why today's focus is on the mission, your mission. Now, if you're not one of those who are committed 101% to your commission, to your mission, I request you to open the next tab and surf about. Now, if you're committed, I request you to stay on because I've got something so beautiful. However, it may sound so controversial. So stay on and be the judge. Our topic today is no, the most liberating word in your vocabulary. Now, I will look at this from a perspective that you probably have seen so many times, but you feel so guilty doing. Using the word no to set yourself free from things that derail you from your mission. This word is powerful. This word makes you look obnoxious. This word no makes you sound rude. It makes you feel small. However, if you use it correctly, there's a very good chance that you will love every minute of saying no. I know this, we've been encouraged to say yes. We've been encouraged to accept helping. We've been encouraged to go out of our way and do things, to be the yes man. But today I'm asking you to be the no man. To simply say, I'm not doing this. It's not my thing. Right now, it's not the right time, so it's a no. Look for a better time. Now, I'm using this word no as the most liberating word that you can ever have in your vocabulary because I have used no to set myself free, and voila, I'm where I am. Think of a situation where we're looking at how we receive information. Initially, we had to wait for the radios and the TVs and the newspapers to deliver information to us. And in Africa, it was even interesting that we had a messenger coming to the chief's camp to announce the message from the other village so that we could either hold a baraza or hold a meeting and could receive the information. But today, doesn't it surprise you how fast social media brings the information? It's just last week that I realized that the information about xenophobia attacks in South Africa have been barred by the government of South Africa. So the SABC television networks and the likes would not transmit such information. Therefore, we didn't know what was going on in South Africa. The government had ordered a media blackout. However, social media does not respect that because everyone got a phone, a smartphone, and they can record and send the information. And so we've been receiving a lot of terrible videos, but they're so informative in the long run. We know that now we can alert our brothers and sisters who are in South Africa to actually look for a way out and maybe move their businesses permanently out of South Africa. And that's not just for South Africa. It's happened here in Kenya. I'm speaking to you from Mombasa in Kenya, where almost every other year when we have elections, we depend a lot on social media to get the information. However, social media can also be misleading. But I tell myself where a little information comes in, 99% of it could be wrong, but 1% of it could be right. And that 1% can help you make a lot of decisions. Now, forget about that part. I want us to focus on the information we receive. Someone once said, in this day and time, we receive so much information that it is so hard to say yes or no to the information. Think about it. When it's not social media saying something, it's the news on TV or on newspaper. But then we also got the information we receive from our neighbors and the information that for people like me who like going to the market, the information we get from a madman in the market because apparently every market has a madman. All this information leaves you wondering, do I say yes or do I say no? And I'll paint you 5 scenarios that I believe you've come across. And at such times when you receive information of this nature, it's a request that requires you to either say yes, no, or do nothing. Of which when you do nothing, you're actually saying yes. You didn't know that, did you? Now, let me give you the first scenario where no would be the most liberating answer for you. And sometimes chances are you say yes by being either quiet or participating. Think of the last time you found yourself in a WhatsApp group. You opened your WhatsApp, and if you're like me, you've silenced WhatsApp messages. So you whenever you get into those groups, you don't actually get a beep. Even when there's a message sent in the group, you don't get a beep because you want to reserve all the beeps for the right time when someone is communicating directly to you. So you open your WhatsApp on your phone, and the best thing is you're in a group and you're not sure what this group is all about. So you scroll through it. In 2 minutes, you realize, oh, it's someone's birthday party, but voila, you have no idea who this person is. So you look at who added me into this group, and you find this guy who you met in a certain conference, and you've chatted 2 or 3 times, but for whatever reason, he's added you into this group. It sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? So you're torn between saying, okay, a birthday, maybe this is a child, maybe this is someone who has had a hard time, and maybe giving them a nice birthday bash would be so cool. But the first question you should ask yourself is, do I really need to stay in this group? Most of the time we hang around and we take a back seat and we watch people send their gimmicks, they send the picture of a cake and the gifts and what and the contributions. And the more we sit there, the more we feel agitated because everyone is making a contribution, and deep down in us, we don't feel like contributing because this is not our thing. But you're so afraid to say no. You're so afraid to call the admin and say, hello, why did you add me into this group without first asking for my permission? If it was a contribution you needed, surely you should have sent me a text and asked for a contribution. And I would have sent it instead of keeping me in a group like this. Now I have to see these messages. And you're so ashamed of leaving the group. And you sit there a whole month down the line, contributions have been made, the birthday pictures come, and you're there telling yourself, I know I need to exit, but you don't have the guts to. Would it have hurt you to simply talk to the admin and then ask them to get you out? Simply say, no, this is not my thing, please get me out. Instead of feeling compelled to stay when it's not your thing, it's actually consuming the time that you should be using for pursuing your mission. Does no work in this situation? That's one. The second situation is when you wake up and you go to your Facebook, because most of us use Facebook to market our products. You get there and you find this post where you've been tagged in. Interesting. You have no idea why you're being tagged. So you read through and you're like, okay, I know the guy who posted, but I just don't understand why you would need to tag me in this one. Or that you should have used a more respectful method of contacting me. I've been in that situation. A business partner of mine and I were tagged in this post where this guy wanted people to contribute finances. And I'm sensitive about contribution of finances because I believe that when you want contribution, someone should ask for it respectfully. Now, this guy tagged us, and then he not only tagged us, he tagged us by name and then tagged the project that we run. Now, this guy has never attended one of our events, but he tagged us and made it so clear that he wanted us, the two of us, to give contributions to support his venture or his cause. Now, listen to me, it was a noble cause, but the way he came around deserved a no. And so we told him, you know what, you want a contribution, kindly call us through this number, let's discuss, let's see what we can do. Maybe it's not just money that you need, we can do something else. And he wrote there, no, you're going to have to do it right here, right now. I called my partner and told him, you know what, you don't deal with this shitty kind of business, so get out of it. It's a no. And we went silent, and the guy has never tagged us from that point because we decided the best way to go out of this is to simply black him out. Now, the next best thing we did was to untag ourselves. That was so weird. But we actually went ahead and untagged ourselves from the post. It sounds very mean, but let me tell you what. Anytime someone tags you into a post without your permission, you have a right to untag yourself. And when you feel that it's a good thing, still ask them to contact you first. It doesn't take long for someone to send you a text message or a WhatsApp message, or to simply call you and say, I have this thing that I need to do. I would really want you to participate. Can I tag you? It's always a good thing. If you don't have my permission to tag me, please don't expect me to sit there and watch it. And if I do, trust me, I will not contribute, because it's my way, my passive aggressive way of saying I'm not going to do it for you because you haven't asked. You haven't asked. You're coercing me to do it, and I don't do things that way. Now, here is my third way. The third time that scenario that prompts me to say no. I've had clients, and I believe you have clients. I believe you're in business, or if you're not in business, you're employed, and therefore you have clients. You have people that you serve, and there are times that these people set terms and conditions or terms of service that are completely wrong. They do not align themselves with your mission. They do not align themselves with your belief. At such times, it's a good time to say no to whatever it is that they're asking for in regards to the terms of service. I've had a scenario where someone actually gave me a job. I asked them if they would, I told them that according to my company's rules is that they needed to put down a deposit, at least 10%. And they said, no, I actually expect you to do the work, and once you've done the work, I will pay. And the person who had invited me to come and meet this guy told me, no, you don't have to worry about him. Just do the work and he'll pay. And I said, you know what? I have company rules. My rules state that for me to do your job, you need to put down this deposit. And if I start neglecting that rule for this person, I'll also have to neglect them for you and someone else or anyone else you send, because, it's supposed to be a rule for everybody. And a day down the line, I just went quiet. I walked out. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it a few days from now, because that's when there was an opening for me to be able to do this work. Other people had given me their jobs. They had put down their down payment. Obviously, I was going to respect that. So when he sent me a text, a day down the line, he told me, I need the work right now. And I sent him a text and said, no, I can do the work, but I will give you the work on Monday. And we had like 2 days. I mean, there was that day and then a day in between. It was a Saturday, so I was going to give him the work on Monday. And according to my schedule, I don't work over the weekends. So I knew very well that this was not the kind of work that I do over the weekend. Over the weekend, I have meetings that are physical, that I need to be there. Otherwise, if it means writing, I see it through the week, between Monday and Friday. And so I told him I couldn't do it until Monday. And he said, no, Monday is too far. And at that point, I realized, wait a minute, this is the same guy who cannot raise the 10% deposit, and now he wants his work to be prioritized. This is wrong. I told myself, you know what, you've taken too long to say the no, but it's never too late. So I sat and texted him and told him, you know what, I'm so sorry that you really have such a short deadline. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attend to you. Please look for another company to do this work. Sorry for the inconvenience. And that was it. That was it. It was a good, blunt no, and I needed to let it go. And then he said, thank you. Just for this same guy to go through the guy who had connected me to him, my friend, and tell him, like, just ask her to do it. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. Why? Because if you don't want to stick to my terms of service, why should I stick to yours? You see, I may be desperate for work, but surely, anytime I compromise, I always find myself in trouble. I don't want to have to follow you all the way. So the best way is commit yourself, and I commit myself. If you're not willing to commit yourself, then I don't see why I should commit myself. So it's a no. It's a very big no. The fourth scenario is where we have someone calling you, maybe your best friend. Sometimes for me, it's my partner. I have several partners in different businesses that I'm engaging myself in. Sometimes one of the partners will call me and simply say, hey, Maggie, can we, people call me my darling, so they're like, hey, my darling, can you arrange for coffee, like create a bit of time today in the afternoon for a cup of coffee? And I go like, what is it about? Why do I need to have time for coffee? It's a weekday, I'm supposed to be writing. And the guy will say, no, don't worry, just come over. I'm like, I don't have the just come over time. My mission is to clear my work, my writing work between Monday and Friday. So I don't have that time unless you tell me why. I've seen this habit go on in network marketing companies where a friend will come and tell you, like, I know this meeting going on, this thing going on. It's the best thing in town. Come around and listen. I'm like, what is it? Shoot me an email and I'll come and I'll read and respond to it. and you wait for 24 hours, 48 hours, a whole week, the person has never shot you, or will not shoot you an email. It's clear. It's none of your business. Now, if you really want me to put time for you and not to give the big N-O, I actually think you should go ahead and send me a text and explain yourself. Why? Because even when I want you to show up, I send you a text or I call you and explain the whole thing to you. Why? I need you to be able to put that time aside knowingly, with some serious level of respect, with some serious level of commitment that, I'm coming because I'm committed to this. Beside my own mission, I'm committed to this. Then, of course, there's the fifth scenario. The fifth scenario is when the mission that you're pursuing and the mission you're being called for 100% lock. They 100% agree completely. But there's one problem. If you leave what you're doing to pursue this invitation that you've got or this request that you've got that is in line with your mission, whatever you're doing is going to go down. Now, I work with people who set mileages and they put down a deposit, which calls me to respect what they're doing as a matter of first priority. Now, if you give me a call, if you get a call in such a case, you got a deadline to pursue, you got something that you've committed yourself to do, but the other thing that is coming in is equally important. If you commit yourself to this second thing, the first thing that you're pursuing is going to get hurt. And most likely you're going to hurt the client who actually committed themselves to giving you this job. It's a tricky situation. I get called for such meetings, and I believe you do. Or scenarios where you're invited to do something that is in line with your mission. However, you're already tied up in another situation. And you start wondering, like, should I pursue this one, even if it's for a short time, and then come back and do? And at that point, you really need to weigh every option you got and find out, is this possible? And in most of the cases, when I'm called for such meetings, or mostly meetings, when someone says, this is in line with what you're doing, and we think you will benefit a lot. Now, if I know for sure I'm able to shift this work to another hour without affecting my client, maybe because I'm going to be able to do it at night and the deadline is not so close, I can do that. But in the event that my deadline is so close and this other meeting is very important, yet I'm not able to attend to it because it's going to crash, I simply say no. I know it sounds very interesting. Now, let me give you a very interesting scenario. As a business mentor, I've been invited so many times to do a training. And the training I'm being called for it comes in as a second thing. Already I've committed myself to something else. And the meeting requires me to chip off time from something that I'm already doing. And they're paying for it. And this client has already paid for it. And let me tell you, this is that thing of wanting to go for the quicker cash, because this is quick cash. I'll prepare, go and do my thing, and then come back and complete here. Now, the first thing I ask myself is that, is this second thing so important? Or do I actually have time for it? Do I have the resources for it? Because for me to go for a meeting or to go and do any training, I need to prepare for it. Do I have the energy? Do I have the other resources to pursue this thing? And will I be harming the first thing that I was working on if I pursue it? Now, if anything in the second meeting, in the second call, has a problem, or it's going to affect my first job or my first mission, then the first thing I do, the best thing I do is to simply say, no, please look for someone else. Or I simply give you a number and tell you, kindly call for this person. If I'm the one who has to be there and no one else, then I'll explain to you, like, this thing that I'm pursuing right now cannot take a break. I'm so sorry. I request that you record it or do something and I'll participate in the best way I can. But I will not harm an existing client just because of a new deal that has just walked in or a new meeting that has just walked in. And this was one of my main motivations for becoming a vegan, because I'd get calls like, let me go and buy you nyama choma. Roasted meat is something that Kenyans enjoy, and I'm one of them. I used to enjoy that. Let me go and take you for lunch. But because I'm a vegan, there are not so many restaurants that serve what I can eat. And whatever they serve that I can eat, I can do it at home. So there's no motivation. You can't motivate me using my stomach. It's not very easy now because I'm a vegan. The best that you probably will give me is ugali and sukuma wiki, which I can do in my house. And ugali is made from maize flour, sukuma wiki is just a vegetable. Surely I can do that in my house. So I've realized that by cutting off things that would entice me to shift from my main mission, I can easily say no. And this is something that I want you to think about. Think of the many things that you're missing out because you don't say no. Think of the many things that you're getting entangled in because you never say no. You wait for too long to say no, and therefore you harm other people who are actually committed to you. Now, all these great opportunities, the 5 scenarios, the WhatsApp group inclusion, the tagging in Facebook, um, working with a client who sets weird terms of service or refuses to follow your service, but yet they're clients and they're willing to pay. The other thing is, what do we look at? The scenario where you're being invited for a meeting without an agenda, when the agenda is not being spoken, or a very important meeting where you know you would benefit from, but you have something else. All these things are great. This is what makes life beautiful. However, you need to learn to say no if actually you realize that this is going to derail you from your main mission. There is time for everything. And until you realize that there's time for everything, then you're going to mess up whatever it is that you're doing. Remember, we always say, you're on a mission, do it, live it. If you're going to live for this mission, you got to put it into use. You got to put it into work. And you can't do that if you keep saying yes to everything that knocks at your door or just throws itself on you. I mean, I'm sure you don't say yes to everyone who asks you out, even on a non-business situation. No, you don't. So the lesson for today aims to address the need to say no, to liberate yourself with this word. Because if whatever it is you're jumping into does not contribute to the achievement of this particular thing that is your mission, surely you're going to crush yourself. You're going to lose clients. You're going to be the most untrustworthy person in the world. And trust me, trust is not very easy to gain, but it's very easy to lose. I ask you to liberate yourself with the word no. Simply say no. Even if you have to say not yet, not now, just let the person know that by saying not now does not mean yes. It means not now. It means I don't have time for it right now. I'm so excited for you because I know that your success depends on your ability to say no, and now you know you can say no without getting shot by anybody because it's your life. It's your mission. It's all about you making it happen because that's where your happiness lies, in pursuing your mission. I'm your mentor, Magdalene Kamawotino, wishing you a very productive week. May it be so full of enough no's to allow you to complete whatever it is you're working on.